Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have the formation tactic video today. I was supposed to do this a while ago, to be honest with you, but as you guys know, my main account is straight fodder, and I had to collect some footage from me playing normal FIFA, not review FIFA, because this is the thing that people don't understand, is that when I'm reviewing a card, the type of FIFA that I play is not the same as normal FIFA. Like, I like to figure out what one individual card does so that when I line them up with my team, I know exactly where I want to use them, right? So with this formation and tactic, it's a cool formation and tactic because, one, it's my favorite one this year, but it doesn't say like too much considering the fact that I didn't play as much this year, but obviously it's still freaking good. I probably would have used it a lot as my 4-2-3-1 because it's just very balanced for what it is. But it's just very, very solid, right? So obviously this is my Portuguese team. You guys know, if you guys have been in the contents and stuff, this has been the same team for a while, to be honest, right? Like, I used Dalot as a center back, Cancelo as a right back, blah, 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 right? So basically the way that the 4-2-3-1 works, guys, is like this, right? So we start off on balanced 4 with 7 for depth, while the offense is on 5 and 5, right? So the reason why this is so good is because depth on 7 does the auto offside trap thing, right? So the auto offside trap thing is basically, it just allows you to have consistent pressure, right? And as you guys know, with pressure in this game essentially breaking attacking AI when it's constantly being used, that is one of the things in this game, right? So it's very strange that it was never adjusted this year, but the 7 depth is what causes that constant offside trap. So there's always like this midfield to defensive gap that is always being covered most of the times, especially if you're controlling the right players at the right time, right? The reason why 4 width is nice is because it keeps the team very narrow, right? So when you're defending, obviously most of the opportunities that people go for is through the middle. But here's the thing, right? With the instructions of the team on balance 5 and 5, I just want you guys to take a look at something, right? So with the fullbacks, we have them on stay back while attacking, stay back while attacking. Now, with the CDMs, as you guys know, I always usually do it like this, and it's very fun for me personally. One CDM is on cut pass lane, stay back while attacking, cover center, while the other one has similar instructions, but is not on stay back while attacking. So that is going to be your more attacking-oriented player, right? So in my case, I use Frankie de Jong as the medium-high work-rated player. Ronaldo Sanchez with his high work rates, 5-star weak foot, and great attacking presence. He is the more attacking one, which is very, very helpful to have, right? I actually had some highlights with this team, but I deleted the footage because I was just piling footage because of all the player reviews, right? So, but yeah, this team was actually moving quite nicely, taking everything into consideration, right? The instructions for the 3 cams, the middle one is on comeback and defense. The left cam and the right cam, the lamb and the ram, I always do that, I don't know why, come back in defense and free roam, okay? And then the striker is on stay forward, come back in defense, one or the other, depending, right? Depending on how your opponent is playing. When I start off, I like to have it on stay forward, but most of the times I do keep it on come back in defense as well. So here's the thing with this team, right? There's 2 different variables to it that obviously you have to take into consideration, right? So with your striker, you do want them to have good base attacking AI, right? Like, there's some players that I genuinely just would not use in the striker position because their attacking AI is not that great up top, right? Ether with his medium low work rate, it's like a very underrated car. Obviously he's 4-star, so people won't use him, right? But 6'3", medium low work rates. You guys know that medium low work rates in the cam striker position for certain players is brilliant. And with Ether, he's definitely one of those guys. There's actually a very sick combination play going on in this team because Ronaldo is the cam. And why does that work out so well? Because there's a dynamic working in the team, right? So important attacking AI is very important for the striker, right? So players like Mbappe, players like this Ether card, players like I think, trust me, I didn't play too much this year, but there's icon moments, Cruyff, right? Dybala, like, those guys have brilliant attacking AI. The reason why using someone like Ronaldo in the cam position is nice is because high-low work rates is so nice to have in the cam position because they still play that original position, but they make crazy runs if their attacking AI is pretty decent, right? So with Ronaldo, I don't think he has top-level attacking AI, right? But I think it's 80% of the way there. But in the cam position, because he's playing through the middle, which is, again, the main position I see him being used in, it's brilliant to work with, right? So cam position, you want to work with high-low work-rated players. Medium is brilliant there. But medium, the problem with medium is that when you want to rotate it into a different formation, like a 4-4-2, for instance, it really depends on you, right? But for me, I don't like my mediums being a striker, even though it kind of acts like it can, whatever. I'm not really down for that, right? So it really just depends on you, but I do think that those two work rates work out well. You can also use a high medium. A high works out well in the cam position, but I've noticed nowadays it's not super ideal because when you tell these guys to come back in defense, the high defensive work rate just makes them move weird for the attacking areas. I don't know what it is that they just do it, but that's why I like to really force it on them to kind of like test it out. Now, here's the thing, right? Your lamb and your ram, you still need good attacking AI from base characteristics. That's always the thing I always tell you guys about. But here's the thing about the lamb and the ram positions. Free roam, come back in defense, those two instructions work so well with this tactic, and it actually fixes players, okay? So listen, tactics, 5 for width, 4 for width on the defense. So when those two guys come back in defense, you are always being covered in those positions, which is super, super important, right? Sometimes my fullbacks go a little bit more narrow, but those guys have me covered. And that's what works with the 4 width and 5 for width. That's why I kept telling you guys that it's very important that these guys come back in defense for that specific area. The cam and the striker coming back in defense is not necessarily for a super strong defensive presence. It's actually more for the build-up play of me pushing forward because, guys, you guys know I hate the meta of only doing the through balls constantly, right? So I like to build up my play from the defense to the attack, right? And obviously, with a player like Ronaldo on comeback in defense, he's on low work rates. So the way he's balanced on the pitch to work with Ether up top is just brilliant, right? So you can see that, obviously, in this case, I was using stay forward on Ether because the way that these two work with the instructions that they have set on is just really, really nice to work with, right? So types of players you want to use, guys, honestly, in your lamb and ram position, you don't have to worry about attacking AI as much. Like, I'm using João Felix and Diogo Jota. Now, obviously, they're not meta. You shouldn't use those two there ever in your entire life, right? Especially in the game nowadays. But I'm sentimental value FC, right? So do I enjoy using João Felix and Diogo Jota in those positions and scoring goals with them? Absolutely, right? So with the free roam instruction, I'm telling you guys, it actually fixes a lot of players, but free roam on a player that has really good attacking AI is awesome, right? Like, I've used already players with Saint Maximin, I've used Mbappe in the side, and these guys are crazy on free roam instruction, right? So very, very nice to work with, and it's very helpful when someone's playing really park the bus oriented in this game, right? Because as you guys know, if anybody puts those pressure tactics against you, it destroys your attacking AI completely, right? So you want to have your CDM on that balance. You want to have those free roam for your lamb and ram to open up situations for you constantly, right? So it's just a really good tactic. Like I said, it's my favorite one this year. You guys see me use this tactic for player reviews constantly, and it's a really good way to test out attacking AI and stuff from players, right? Like, you guys saw when I was using Dybala, like, that card is just moving across the pitch, man. Doesn't matter where I played him, that card was crazy. I keep mentioning him because, like, it was like FUT Birthday Griezmann back in the day, right? So, yeah, but the types of players you have on your team, very, very important. Like I said, this is very far from meta, but as you guys know, I don't really play on this account that much anyways. I was actually thinking about deleting it just to make a new account, but I don't see any point to that because this game's awful. But anyways, listen, we're going to get some goal highlights here. We're going to talk about each goal that I scored, what I was thinking as the goals kind of went out. There was some with like a full French team because I was doing it for the long lay review, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do some regular gameplay, all of that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into the goals, and we'll see what's up. Okay, guys, so let's see some of the goals that we ended up scoring here. So again, in this situation here, we're using the French team. Kylian Mbappe is the striker with Griezmann as a cam. So obviously with the high-low work rates up top and the medium in the cam position, it's definitely something very nice to work with. So that is one example there of Griezmann's attacking AI movement in the cam position, working really well, making those angled runs. We went for a first-time fake shot right there. Not fake shot, like a shot cancel to trigger the animation from the defender, and then we got a nice little finesse shot angle right there. So right here with Awar, we have the ball here with Mbappe, just a nice little flick backwards twice skill move. We flick the ball upwards. That is, I believe, a flick twice forward and then backwards once to get that angle. When you do that skill move, those volleys actually come off really well. If you guys aren't aware, when I did the review for Depay, that was a very good example of showing that specific skill move and the shots that come off from it, because the weak foot that Depay actually took from that specific skill move animation is very, very strong, very accurate. It's just a very good skill move to take a shot from, right? It's kind of like replace the the rainbow flick in a way, because the rainbow volleys used to be really, really good, but that's the skill move that kind of comes off nice nowadays, right? So again, you're going to see a lot of shot cancels. You're going to see a lot of me opening up the space in different ways. That one is a FIFA 21 goal if I've ever seen one. That pass was fully unwarranted, just a garbage pass on my part, but I get rewarded because of the avoiding the defender animations, right? So again, a shot cancel right there. A shot cancel kind of allows you to do a very, very quick touch, right? So when you do the shot cancel, it allows me to go backwards really quickly, get that finesse shot angle, and then score that opportunity. Again, with the attacking AI of Awar in this situation, he is my more attacking-oriented CDM, so he will push forward, especially with the work rates that he has, right? So you can see that he's the one that's constantly attacking, especially if you have the high medium work rates like he does. It's going to work out really, really well. Like, it's a great card. It's a foot card for sure, because of the way that he moves across the pitch. A lot of pressure with the team. Again, with the 7 depth, it's very hard to get the ball to play. A typical ball roll touch. You guys know the vibes with the content over here. Ball roll touch to get that animation out of the goalkeeper. So here's attacking AI stuff, right? So you see how my Griezmann starts to move upwards at a side angle. What you hope for is the person making the pass does an aggressive run afterwards. I like the flashback Dembele card. I do. I don't think he has amazing attacking AI, though. I don't. I think it's good. I don't think it's amazing, because players that have amazing attacking AI is players like Dybala, like I mentioned earlier. When you make that pass with Dybala, explosiveness from the pass is very important. Griezmann does it in the cam position. Mbappe does it on a lot of different occasions. Just constant movement, right? So you can see that, like, when I'm using someone like Griezmann in the cam position, he's not the person who's always in the cam position, because that free roam instruction is making players move constantly. A situation like that, while the goalie is being pushed towards you, because the goalie is really close to you and you're at a 45-degree angle, you do want to go for that heel-to-heel skill move to kind of get past the goalkeeper in that way. They're nerfing the heel-to-heel next year, so I don't know if the 45-degree angle is going to work the same way against the goalkeepers, whether they're going to register a similar way, but obviously we'll see, right? So again, just slow build-up passing. Saint-Maximin gets into a great position in that area to open himself up. The guy just didn't have a fullback occupying that position. Again, Griezmann, medium work rates, push it to the side position. Dembele pushes forward. What we do here is we wait for that middle run, go for a nice little shot cancel, and work that near post angle. So with Griezmann, he doesn't have the 5-star skills. So what you guys will notice in that situation, right, is I stop with Griezmann a certain way where the game acts like I'm actually fully stopped, right? So when it acts like you're fully stopped, it kind of allows you to go for that moving scoop turn in a way, right? Because obviously when you have 4-star skills, you kind of have to be stopped in a way to be able to do it. But you kind of just have to dribble a certain way to kind of time it a certain way to get that skill move off. Like, you could see that I kind of stop with Griezmann to be able to pull it off, right? Which is obviously very, very helpful if you're using 4-star skill move players, right? So again, situation like that, you can see Saint-Maximin, explosive from the pass. That was also another FIFA 21 goal. I didn't expect to score that with the pass that I actually ended up doing there, but it worked out anyways, right? Over here, we just do a couple of skill moves here with Dembele. Wait for the build-up to kind of open up. That is a Ronaldo chop. It's a combination of the Ronaldo chop, and then you use the left stick in the opposite direction to face upwards. It's just very helpful to control the ball a certain way where you don't have to use the left stick touches. Like I always tell you guys, in FIFA nowadays, left stick touches, the left stick dribbling is completely terrible, right? So using skill moves to be able to dribble in certain directions is just very, very helpful. I still use the left stick dribbling as much as possible because obviously, again, shot cancel right there, registration from the defender. I still use the left stick dribbling because I want to have that sense of playing regular FIFA. It's a big gripe that I have with the game nowadays, but obviously, you could see that it's very, very helpful to be able to do the skill moves to get the control dribbles off, right? So again, build up play here. That's me forcing the run there with Dembele because I see him overcommitting his fullback. Over here, we just push forward. I usually go back in this situation, but a fake shot ended up working out really well. I don't go for the first time strike there with the Griezmann because I want to get it on his strong foot to that near post angle. What you'll notice with a lot of the goals that I scored in this, which is, I would say, 85% of the goals in here are mostly high percentage strikes, right? So you want to be able to get that near post angle, do that heel to heel so that the shot comes off better, all that kind of stuff. That's what you always want to aim for when it comes to attacking in this game, right? I really wish I had the highlights for the Portuguese team, but the draft, actually, it's funny, I did a draft today, and that's going to be the highlights for the end of this right here. So over here in a situation like that, Griezmann's a really good player. You guys know I like him a lot in FIFA. The medium, again, I would strictly recommend using him in that cam position. He moves across the pitch in a really, really nice way. You can actually tell that Griezmann's left foot, he sometimes does that shot animation where he bends his body. That shot animation is crazy. So you can see that this is a draft team that I was working with. It was a terrible draft, and it's somewhat difficult to get a good draft of 4-2-3-1. They're very like 50-50. Like some of the selections they give you are not great. So I had a lot of really poor players, but we made them work, obviously. So again, even with this team that's complete garbage, you can see that I'm working with a lot of movements, right, in the attack. So I win the ball here in the defensive area. We push forward, and look at the players that are just booming forward, even with the comeback and defense, right? So over here with Alejandro Gomez, we do a nice little L1 flick down up. Inaki Williams in a perfect position right there, even on the free roam instruction, and we score that opportunity. Ronaldo in this game, guys, he's a good player, man, but he's like low-key a fraud in a lot of situations. Mostly for me personally in the attacking AI sense. Obviously, this one is a little bit better with the medium lows. I personally prefer that, but he's just kind of like tubby in some cases. Like sometimes I actually moved him into the cam position at medium low, and it worked well, but it's just that, you know, when the gameplay's not up to par, that body type is a little bit weird sometimes to work with, but obviously still a very good card nowadays. If you were to pack him, he'd be a dope player to use. Over here, you can see Ronaldo's movement, right? So Ronaldo not being super aggressive, really holding his position. So he has one of those types of medium lows, right? So over here, I have to build up the play a little bit slower, right? Watch this situation right here. I'm committing with Bruno Fernandes, right? What happens with Inaki Williams on the free roam instruction? When he sees that empty space, he goes into it immediately and scores the opportunity. Notice how I did not go for a finesse shot across goal, because in FIFA Layton's terms, it is a low percentage strike. So I do go for that near post. You'll see another situation here. Again, Bruno Fernandes, amazing in this game, right? I make that pass. He's immediately explosive. We get that near post angle, because when you're coming off of the heel to heel, the power strike after that comes off really, really well. So again, typical build-up play here, typical passes. You can see Ronaldo making a run, which is definitely dope right there, but I like to build the play back. He overcommits one of his defenders. Again, I don't shoot across goal. I go for the near post in this area for a higher percentage strike. I think we had one more game after this, because this guy also rage quit. This was today, actually, that I played the draft. I was like, you know what? I'm bored. I'm going to try it out. You guys know the vibes with games right now. Everything is just trash. Alejandro Gomez, again, making the run on the side. You'll see here that in this situation, attacking AI is usually completely terrible in that area, right? What does Inaki Williams do? Gets into the right position at the right time with the free roam instruction, gets into that middle space, allows us to score that opportunity. If I didn't give him that instruction, he might have stayed at the top, again, around the 18-yard box, just on the inside, right where I made that pass. Players just don't make good attacking AI runs. It's the worst attacking AI you will ever see in your entire life. But with the free roam instruction, it definitely fixed him in the side positions. Okay, boys, first draft that I've won in a while. This is the first time I played draft in God knows how long. I think it was 3 rage quits, and in the end, it's the most conservative FIFA you'll ever play in your life, but welcome to the meta. I'm just a guy that just threw balls all the time. Welcome to FIFA. Anyways, let's see what we can get from the rewards, and we get some good stuff. I don't know. We will see. We will see. First pack is going to be nothing, I don't think. I spent 15k on this. I don't know if I have, like, fodder in my club. Like, just generally speaking. I do have to check, though. I'll put these guys over there. Send everything else. Okay. Rare gold pack. Rare gold pack. Nothing in this as well. Ba-ba-da-ba-dum-bum. Send those bad boys in. And then, the last one is going to be... Yeah, this account I've thought about deleting a lot. I never really played, like, regular FIFA on this account. I had to do so much stuff for, like, content at the time before I had Giyu. And nothing from that, too. Nice. Yeah, I did so much stuff, man. If I deleted it, I genuinely, like, wouldn't really care that much. But, hey, content. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.